alongside so many tens of thousands of wonderful individuals, and in particular a privilege to lead the organisation as Commissioner for over a decade. I've seen very much this past season the worst that Mother Nature can deliver, but I also saw the very best in our people. The frontline firefighting effort, the men and women on the front line, the volunteers of course, partnering with their firefighting colleagues in fire and rescue, national parks, forestry, all our colleagues from across the country, people from New Zealand, the United States and Canada, partnering with our police and emergency services, but also every functional area of government, our interplay and connectedness with the support of the Commonwealth and the ADF. We've never seen a better outpouring of support to lead the biggest firefighting event this state has ever seen. But we also saw an outpouring of support when we saw the widespread damage, destruction and devastation. Damage, destruction and devastation, the likes of which we hadn't seen before. More than 25 lives have been lost, including 3 volunteer firefighters and 3 aviators who came from the United States to help us in our time of need. We also saw just on 2,500 people lose their homes, but at the same time we saw another 14,000 saved in the same area. We saw significant infrastructure, community assets damaged and destroyed, and behind every one of those statistics there's a human story, there's a human dimension. And as we speak now, while we're dealing with this awful COVID-19 pandemic that's impacting the lives of everybody, no one's immune from the impact of this awful disease, whether it's here in New South Wales, whether it's across the country or indeed around the globe. We are seeing people heavily impacted, dislocated, and through the fires we've still got people in temporary or alternate accommodation. Just imagine how deflating it was when we had to put the messages out only in this last week or so about not wanting people to visit rural and regional New South Wales that's been impacted by the fires, and we're relying on that presence, relying on that visitation, and putting their store in what would have been a boost coming this Easter. But the reality is we're seeing the impact of this disease require us to be considered, to be restricted in our movement, to stay home wherever we can, to limit the potential for this deadly disease to be spread into places we simply don't want it. But we know that the recovery effort is going to continue, is continuing right now. Not only are we seeing people, victims as a result of the bushfires, but that was compounded on top of already drought-stricken communities. It was only a few months ago, less than 12 months ago, that we were working with the water authorities, with the agricultural authorities, trying to get water into these towns, into these rural areas, to keep them alive. They've then been belted by bushfires, and now we've got the extraordinary impact of the COVID-19 virus, which is compounding the situation even more. So there's no doubt in my time with the Rural Fire Service I've got to meet and spend time with remarkable people right across this great state, and I've spent time very closely with some of them who have been truly devastated and dislocated as a result of natural disasters and in particular bushfires over the years. I very much care about and am concerned for the people of New South Wales. I have been for a long time, and there is no doubt in my mind that I take on this new role with a deal of trepidation, of course, but I'm very open to the idea of continuing to make a difference, a meaningful difference in the lives and livelihoods of people, of communities, to help with business, to help with industry, and to help rebuild our economy locally, domestically, and much further afield. I thank the Premier for the opportunity to take on this new role. It's been a very difficult decision, a deeply personal decision, but the reality is the important decisions, the necessary decisions, usually are the most difficult. And for me, after spending most of my life with the organisation, an organisation where I've grown to admire and respect extraordinarily the commitment and dedication of individuals, the vast majority of whom, 99% of whom, do it for the want of nothing in return, but to make a difference in their local community. To make a decision to step down and move on to something else was absolutely difficult and deeply personal. But it's the right one. As I say, those difficult decisions, the right decisions are the difficult decisions. And I look forward to this new role. I believe I can continue to serve the Government of New South Wales and the people of New South Wales to help us better prepare, prevent, respond to, and most importantly recover from disasters and emergencies. Man-made.
Right, that is the Fire Chief Shane Fitzsimmons there, who's stepping down from that role.